Well, having failed to find common ground on whether more economic stimulus is needed to sustain a recovery, the leaders of the world's top 8 industrialized nations also seem to be singing from a different songbook when it comes to the environment. On paper, it's the same tune, but as Peter Harris reports from Italy, there's not complete harmony.
Kevin, the G8 leaders vowed today to make deep emission cuts and walk away from this meeting with a common front when it comes to tackling climate change. But for a couple precious minutes, it looked like they had to do all of this without Stephen Harper. It was a picture-perfect moment. Only one thing was missing.
Harper is missing.
With a stage full of leaders from the world's biggest and fastest-growing economies, the Prime Minister was nowhere to be seen. So they waited and joked and waited some more. Until 2 minutes later, the Prime Minister arrived and they got the shot. In the big picture, they did get down to business, tackling the environment by agreeing to slice emissions by as much as 80% by 2050.
We've made a good start, but I'm the first one to acknowledge that progress on this issue will not be easy.
It's a tough sell. They were hoping emerging economies like China, India, and Brazil would sign on to deep cuts, but in the end, they didn't.
We're still a long way from having everybody, including the large developing economies, accept targets, and that's the next step that has to happen.
We must work according to the science. This is politically and morally imperative and historic responsibility for the leaders, for the future of humanity.
So what does this mean for Canadians? Many believe all of this will put more pressure on the Harper government to cut deeper and faster.
We're in the top 10 in terms of absolute emissions, per capita emissions. We're one of the world's biggest economies. We can clearly do more.
Now, Kevin, one last point on that picture. This isn't the first time that the Prime Minister's missed it. At the G20 meeting in London in April, he missed it altogether. Kevin?
All right, Peter.